Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, first of all, before we get into this topic, uh, think about how incredible it is that we all exist right now at this moment in this time, all around the world, going through all these crazy events around the world. We're all alive. We're the best representations of the human species. We're the ones that have survived. We've made it to this point. It's pretty amazing. Life isn't going to last forever. This is a special experience we're all having. If it's painful, if it's excruciating, if the emptiness, the loneliness, there's depression, there's anxiety, there's suffering, if every day is hard, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. This is just, it's normal. This is life. Life, I don't know if any of you have seen the movie Leon, the Professional, I think it's called in the States. It has different names around the world, but I remember the character of the little girl, Matilda. She is getting beaten by her dad, and she has a bruise. And then the hitman, Leon, she talks to him and says, "Is life always going to be hard this way?" And then he looks at her and says, "Yes, it's always like this, always going to be like this." All right, on that positive note, let's dive into this, dealing with intense emptiness, intense depression, constant anxiety, loneliness. Okay? First of all, as I have said in many of my other videos, you're not alone if you're feeling all of this. Don't be duped by the world that you go into, the world that you see on Instagram, on Facebook, the world that you see on the TV where everyone is happy, positive, smiling. Don't be duped into thinking that you're the only one on earth that is having this difficulty. If you go on YouTube, you're going to see videos with multi-million views. You're going to see thousands of videos with millions of views, millions of comments by people who are experiencing the same thing. You're going to see videos, you're going to read books, you're going to see movies, there's music, there's thousands of albums, thousands of movies, thousands of books written by, directed by, produced by people, bands who, directors, you name it, producers who are expressing this exact thing, that life is hard. Not all the time, but it's hard. It's every day is going to be full of up moments and down moments. Sometimes you might have a week that's full of up days and down days. You might have a month that's full of up weeks and down weeks. And you may have a year that's full of down months and up months. The thing is that we can't escape it no matter what. I just finished spending so much time over quarantine building a brand new patio. Here, let me see if I can show you guys. I don't know if you can see it out there. A little bit, maybe. But it was a lot of hard work, and I'm very happy and pleased with the results. But when it was all done, there's this expectation that, oh, now everything's going to be great. I'm going to be happy now. Well, no. It's the satisfaction even that world champions experience when they get a championship belt or a gold medal. It's a similar feeling. It's the journey, it's working towards the goal that's actually the hidden gem, that's where that deep, rich satisfaction actually lies. Accomplishing the goals is great, Winning a fight is great, but it's short-lived. For any of you who have accomplished and experienced this, you'll know what I mean. It's a short-lived thing. And the lesson in that is that we have to keep on moving. We have to keep setting new goals. We have to keep growing. But focusing only on growth alone isn't enough. It's important to continuously grow, but also to do that hand in hand with constant daily gratitude as well. Sorry, I'm trying to get like a good angle here. So look, what amplifies our depression and our anxiety and our loneliness and those horrible, difficult states is this belief and this feeling, this belief, this thought that this is going to last forever, okay? So every day I'm having sessions with people from all around the world, and it's a common core thing that comes up. And when people become aware that they're having this belief, it's a false belief. Your anxiety, your depression, that emptiness, that intense loneliness, it will go away. It will go away. What makes it worse when we feel depressed, when we feel down, when we feel sad, what intensifies it, what magnifies it, what amplifies that feeling, that intense, horrible feeling that we've all felt at some point in our life, and some people feel more than others. What intensifies it is that it's coupled with this huge fear that I'm going to feel like this for the rest of my life. For example, after a breakup, when you're experiencing this emptiness, this horrible feeling, this loneliness that drives you to finding anything that will numb the pain, that will give you pleasure, that will help you escape that feeling. Or it could be just in quarantine that you're feeling this, not a breakup, or it could be just in life in general that you keep finding that you keep coming back to this place of emptiness and loneliness. First of all, remember, this is normal. We all are feeling this. Why do you think there is this huge mass movement for the last 5 to 10 years of self-improvement and everybody doing martial arts and boxing and kickboxing and CrossFit and you name it, all kinds of sports? You go on social media and you'll just see everyone now is talking about be your best self, and it wasn't like this 5 years ago. It wasn't. And now everyone is jumping on this massive bandwagon of get healthy, be your best self, you know. And in many ways it's a good thing. But why is everyone doing that? Is it because life is easy? Is it because everyone's happy? No, it's because life is hard. It's because people are struggling. It's because no matter what, no matter who you are, you will keep coming back to this. Whether you are Stephen Colbert, whether you are Donald Trump, whether you are Barack Obama, whether you are rich, famous, whether you're Michael Jordan, I'm watching a Netflix thing on him now. It doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter how successful you are. Doesn't matter if you're Jocko Willink or however you pronounce his name, the Navy SEAL who's a jiu-jitsu guy who's got a big YouTube channel. Doesn't matter if you're Joe Rogan. Why do you think Joe Rogan does all the things that he does? Many people keep themselves extremely occupied because they're afraid, because they want to move themselves as far away as possible from that emptiness, from that feeling of loneliness, from that thought of, have I done enough? I haven't done enough with my time. From feelings of regret, from thoughts of regret, from thinking, I haven't lived my best life. Have I lived my best life? Am I doing all that I could possibly do? And then everybody winds up running around like a rat on a whatever you call it, mouse on one of those spinning wheels, or running around like a headless chicken. There's no way you're going to do everything on planet Earth. There's no way that you're going to ever be satisfied with what you're doing and how much you've accomplished unless you slow down and appreciate and practice gratitude and appreciate everything you have, everything you've done, and look around and ask, why is there such a rush? What's the rush for? I think, personally, people are rushing because people are rushing. What do I mean by that? People are rushing because there are other people rushing. Because if let's say 9 people in a city are just chill, enjoying nature, living in harmony, and then there's one person who's like going to take advantage of that peace and harmony and try to capitalize on it in some way that is most likely going to benefit them in terms of materialistic, in terms of gaining assets, wealth, material, land, resources, securing themselves, their family, all of these things. If you look at a lot of these people, that they are accumulating, they're hoarding, they're trying to take as much as they can for themselves, for their friends, for their families. And hey, I'm not putting down anyone, all power to everyone. Look at Joe Rogan, look at everyone. They're helping themselves, their families, and their friends, right? Their tribe. Now, I don't want to get too off topic. Let's go back to the emptiness, depression, and loneliness that you feel after a breakup, okay? And I want to focus this video mostly on this thought that makes it worse. And that's the thought that I'm going to feel like this forever. It's such a sad, dangerous thought that unfortunately leads a lot of people to end their experience on this earth. And it's sad because if you have experience with this, and when I talk about experience, I mean having gone through it and come out of it, and maybe gone through it again and come out of it, you'll realize that you're going to feel differently in an hour. You're going to feel differently tomorrow. You may feel like all hope is lost. You may feel stuck. You may feel that you're not moving anywhere. You may feel that what is the point of living? You may feel like things are never going to change. And that's the thought that I'm talking about. That's the belief that what I feel right now, I'm going to feel forever. This sadness, this emptiness, I'm going to feel it forever. You're not going to feel it forever. It doesn't last forever. Nothing lasts forever. That's the beauty of this world that we live in. If you keep repeating the same things over and over, then you are likely going to experience the same things over and over. If you keep doing the same things, making the same decisions, repeating, going to the same gym, hanging out with the same people, eating the same foods, if your life is going to kind of just be the same all the time, well, the results are going to more than likely be the same as well. So what I would suggest is not a huge drastic change that, again, a lot of people do because people want quick fixes, right? Well, you know, tomorrow I'm going to start a whole new diet. I'm going to change my life completely. And what happens, right? You do it for like a couple of days and then you fail. Why do you fail? Because the expectations, the goals you've set are way unrealistic, way too big, way just almost impossible for anyone to be able to accomplish. The key here is little micro adjustments in your life, little changes. If you can do them daily, that's brilliant, but try and just go week by week. This week I'm gonna, rather than having 2 cans of Coke, I'm gonna have 1 can of Coke a day. This week I'm going to go to the gym one day more than I did last week. Or like me and a lot of people that I have a group now of people, if anybody out there, to be honest with you, it's more for my Patreon subscribers, but we have a group where we're doing daily reading, daily meditation, and daily gratitude. And for a lot of people in this group, they can adjust that and do whatever they want. They can do daily 5 push-ups a day, whatever. But the key of this is to keep those tasks easy. So we read 3 pages a day, we meditate 5 minutes a day, and we do 3 gratefuls a day, and that's it. The key, the goal is to build the show up ability, the ability to show up and do those things. And that's a muscle in itself that in a lot of us is weak. Let's call it the willpower muscle, the self-discipline muscle, right? Just a couple of days ago, I was talking to one of my previous clients, and he was telling me that, he's asking me about this, just some substance. It's kind of like a the name escapes me right now, but and I replied and I said, hey man, what I see being most successful in the sessions that I am doing, and I'm sharing this information with you, it's like data, right? I have had maybe over 1,000 sessions now in the last 4 years, hundreds of people that I've talked to going through breakups, dealing with depression and anxiety, and I can tell you what has helped people the most and where I see changes, successful changes, when people get involved with sports. By far, it's the biggest thing of all. Where when people get involved with whatever it is, dancing, it could be salsa, bachata, it could be playing the drums, it could be going to the gym, doing kickboxing, boxing, it could be spin, it could be jiu-jitsu, could be anything. But when people get involved with a regular sports, their life just changes, Now, finding the right gyms is important, finding the right coaches is important, but it's worth the effort to find those right places. I'm quitting a gym now that I've been at for a year. Prior to that, I was at a gym for 9 years, where I got my brown belt over here in jiu-jitsu. I wasn't only training jiu-jitsu there, I was doing MMA and Brazilian jiu-jitsu for 9 years at one gym. I left it because they had issues with the ownership, and they split, and it was a weird situation. So I moved to a new gym, and I've been at that new gym for a year, but I've struggled there. I just haven't felt it's a good environment for me. And I give it a year, I tried, but it's time to move, and it's difficult. It's not easy to find the right fit, the right friends, the right foods, the right books, the right music. So don't be too hard on yourself. Take it easy on yourself. Give yourself a break. What's the rush? Yeah, there's a rush because there's a lot of other people rushing around, and so we feel like we have to also rush around and compete with them. No, let them all go. Let the sheep rush forward and get as many likes and views and whatever it is they want, attention, power, influence, right? That's what people want, influence. At the end of the day, we can't deny that the majority of human beings, especially men, want power and influence. All humans want to be heard. All humans, male and female. But there's a large share of humans that not only want to be heard, but want to influence the people around them, their communities, with their views and their visions. And obviously that's not a bad thing if they're good leaders, right? And what is a good leader? Is someone who actually cares about the world and improving the world in some way, right? Not just in it for themselves, their family, their friends. And that's what a friend of mine once told me a long time ago. That's what all politicians want. They want to get power so they can help their friends and their family. Gain power. And we'll be lucky if they're good people or not. Look at our current leader, what a mess. What a mess is being created, in this beautiful, incredible country all around the world. And it's arguable why, right? I will argue that it's because a lot of it is because of Syria, because of the Middle East. And you can look at it, the planet as a body. Imagine the whole planet is your body, and then you're neglecting your hand. Let's say the hand is Syria, right? I'm a huge fan of Obama, but he had mistakes too. He neglected or poorly made poor decisions when it came to Syria, right? The whole world neglected what was going on over there. And we will never know the horrors and the extent of the brutality and how sad it must have been, the things that were going on in there, the killing rooms, the genocide, the mass graves, the mass murders, the raping, the abuse of children, the worst hell on earth you can imagine, the things that were going on over there, and the rest of us just getting on with our daily lives, right? Not that we should feel guilty. We elect our leaders to take care of us. And when they neglect parts of the world, as a lot of nationalists nowadays are neglecting the rest of the world, focusing on, their own countries, well, it's going to come back and bite us in the ass. When you neglect Syria and it's not our problem, I got things to worry about. Well, look what happened. What do you think is going to go on when there's hell on earth over there? People are going to flee, and everyone fled that country. And where did they go? They fled through Turkey, through to Europe, and then this is how I believe I will argue with anyone that the whole nationalistic movement that we're all experiencing now has come to be. Because what happens when there's masses of refugees at your border saying, help us, we're being bombed, we're being raped, we're being murdered, let us in, please help us. Well, then you're going to get local people in the country saying that they don't want these people in, right? So it creates a difficult situation that shouldn't have been created in the first place. I sympathize with the people that are well, we don't want all these people coming in. I also sympathize with the poor people that are fleeing. It's a difficult situation that none of us have to be in. If we had great leadership that would prevent, these damn wars from taking place in faraway countries, thinking that, we're going to keep ourselves safe by doing all those things there. But I'm rambling on. That's why this channel, for all of you who know me best, know is called The Mouth of the Ape, because I ramble. This is an ape, a rambling ape. But I will pull myself back to the core of this video again, which is, don't compound your depression and your emptiness and your loneliness with this thought and belief that it's going to last forever. This thought and belief is a subconscious one. It's an unconscious one. That means you're probably not aware that you're having it. You're just thinking it and identifying with it, believing it, and it's all happening without you being aware. Whereas if you can practice awareness through things like meditation, then you will be able to train yourself better to observe these thoughts and these beliefs like, this is going to last forever. I'm going to always feel like this. It's hopeless. And then people give up, right? And they get stuck. They feel down and they can't find a way through it. And then sadly, some people, God bless and God, always help and guide those who unfortunately give up. People like Anthony Bourdain, when they're in that deep moment and they just have that thought. It's a thought. It's a belief that I'm always going to keep coming back to this place. I'm always going to feel this way. I'm never going to be able to be happy. I'm never going to get out of this. These are thoughts, they're beliefs. They may be rooted in some kind of experience that we may have, but they're not true. They're only fears, right? So be aware of that thought. And once you can be aware, once you can, let's say, as Eckhart Tolle says, cast the light of awareness on that thought, you will realize, wow, this thought is compounding my existing horrible feelings. Like having those horrible feelings, the loneliness, the emptiness, the anxiety, it's okay. But what makes it difficult is when we quadruple it or magnify it by 10 or 20 by thinking, I'm always going to feel this way. You're not always going to feel this way. Change is the only constant, which means your feelings will change, especially if you can change your behavior. And I'm not saying that we have to be making huge, drastic changes to our behavior, micro changes, small changes. And you know what I have seen that work best with the people that I coach, the people that I counsel, the sessions that I have? What works best isn't necessarily adding or doing something new, but it's cutting out and stopping something that's not good. Like not talking to this person anymore who makes us feel down, or reducing how much we talk with this person. I've been reading this book by Brené Brown. It's called Daring Greatly. This book is a great book, and it gets even greater towards the end. And I'm towards the end right now, and I'm learning things that I have been doing that have been creating pain in my life. One of the big ones is oversharing with people who are not worthy of our oversharing, right? So this goes back to what I was saying, that one of the biggest successful things that people have in the sessions that I'm having and the people I'm working with is when they cut out things. It's the same with diets. You know, being healthy in your life, you're going to see more success not by like having green smoothies and eating vegetables and having the chia seeds and having the, you know, whatever it is. It's by cutting out or reducing just a little bit the Coke, the sodas, the fried food, the French fries, the chips, the pizza, the sandwiches, the bread, whatever it is, right? It's different for everyone. The alcohol, the smoking, the sitting, right? Just reducing those things a little bit, you're going to see percentage change in your life. You're going to see a trajectory change in your life. And just as, let's say, a ship that's sailing through the ocean, if you alter its trajectory by just a micro degree, the end destination will have a huge difference. Rather than heading to Iceland, you could wind up heading to Hawaii, right? So those micro changes are all we need to make huge changes in where our life heads and where our life goes. So this is a massive mistake that I see a lot of people, and I have made this a lot in my life. Fortunately, in the last 5 years, I have made those adjustments. I'm no longer trying to do huge, drastic things. I just make little, tiny adjustments in my life. Let's say I have a family member that I would talk to every day. Let's say it's out of guilt. Let's say I feel like I have to talk to this person, you know, because it's my family and I have to be there. But let's say that experience is bringing me down. This is a common thing for a lot of people. Well, I don't have to stop communicating with this person, but let's say I reduce how much I interact with this person. Or let's say I don't reduce how much I interact with them, but the type of interaction I have changes. Rather than oversharing, for example, as Brené Brown suggests, I'll listen more. I'll ask more questions. Let them overshare. And keep it short. I don't have to talk for an hour, I'll just talk for 5 minutes and I'll let them know that. I do this with a lot of my family and my friends. I'll tell them, hey, we don't need to talk on the phone for an hour. Let's just talk 5 minutes on the phone. That way we can talk more often. We can keep it more chill. Hey, how's it going? And, just wanted to check in, just wanted to say a quick hi. So I guess this ties into managing expectations, setting boundaries, right? And comparing is another important one, right? Which I've talked about in a lot of my videos. So, just to wrap this up, if you're experiencing extreme depression, extreme loneliness, extreme emptiness, constant anxiety as a result of a breakup, or just as a result of what we're going through right now, quarantine, first thing first, you're not alone. We're all going through this. Why do you think alcohol exists in the first place? Why do you think there's so many antidepressants out there? Why do you think everything on earth exists, like movies, like theater, like music? It's to help us. It's to help us get through this. Remember Leon telling Matilda, it's always like this. Life is always going to be like this. It's difficult. Life is going to be difficult, especially when we start to take care of ourselves, when we no longer are under the protection and guidance of our family. We are responsible for creating our own schedule, for taking care of ourselves. It's going to be hard. It's going to be more difficult. But we're going to get better with it. Yeah, we might have difficulty, but we will improve and we will learn. The key is to just keep showing up, to keep moving forward, to carry on, right? So my message to everybody out there is life isn't going to last forever. And that's not a sad, depressing thing. The Dalai Lama meditates on death every day. I meditate on death every day. It's not a bad thing. It will make you a more grateful person. It will make you argue less and waste less time with BS. It will make you value your time more, your interactions more with the people around you, with your family, with your friends, with yourself. There's no need to have this fear and pressure of, am I doing enough in life? Am I reaching all my goals? Yeah, have a little bit of that fear, but don't let that fear dominate your life. That I believe it's crushing and dominating a lot of people's lives, even so-called successful people's lives. People that may have millions of followers or subscribers. Don't think they're special. They're just people. They'll go home. They'll feel empty. They'll feel the loneliness too. Everyone is feeling it, but everyone is doing a great job of masking it, hiding it, making out like they're doing great, and making you feel like you're the only one struggling. And it's BS, and the days of that BS are the time for all that is coming to an end, because we're all able to see it online now, that there's huge growing communities out there of people who are trying their best to stay up as much as possible, to stay on their high horses while they're being pulled down every day by people who aren't doing the work, who aren't even aware of any of this, and they're spreading toxicity, pain, suffering, misery, because they're miserable, they're suffering. I never thought I was going to wind up doing coaching and counseling sessions every day with people. This was not what I thought I would be doing with a lot of my time. I still run my music record label, and it's my main thing, but I do counseling sessions every day. And it's not an easy thing, because you're dealing with people, you're interacting with people who are in pain, who need guidance. And it's not that they're the only ones in pain. We're all going through it. I'm going through it myself. But one of the blessings of being able to do this job and be in this position of listening to people and trying to help guide them through by helping them understand awareness, self-awareness, and helping them navigate through their thinking and their emotions, setting goals. One of the blessings of this work is that I have had to take care of myself more, because I can't help others if I'm depleted, if I'm suffering, if I'm miserable, if I'm empty. There's a beautiful quote, and I have to mention my mom. I don't mention her enough. She's been the source of all my wisdom, all my love, my power, my strength. I wish that she had a YouTube channel. I wish that I could have her on my YouTube channel, because if any of you out there think that anything I have said has been useful or helpful, imagine it multiplied by 100, the source of which is from her. Well, I'm a diluted version of her teachings and her wisdom. And she loves this line from the movie Lawrence of Arabia, where one of the kings, the Arabian tribal leader, stands on the top of a hill, and he says, "I'm a river for my people." And in order for you to be a river for the people around you, the people that you love and care for, you've got to be a flowing river. You've got to be full, right? There's another saying that's similar to that, which is, fill your cup first, and it will overflow to those around you. So this is a lesson about self-love. Keep yourself powerful and strong so that you can be a light in this world for others to follow. And unfortunately, fortunately, we live in a time where there isn't one Jesus or one Buddha or one Muhammad or one Abraham. There isn't just one prophet. There's thousands of prophets now these days. And I mean that legitimately. There are, I believe, thousands of legit prophets on this earth. People like Eckhart Tolle, like, whoever it is, Muji, Sadhguru is one. There's lots of them, right? Oprah, you could say, is one. There's so many of them. Spiritual leaders who have found the secret, and the secret isn't to rush around and gain mass wealth and accumulate and hoard, which sadly, look at people like Trump. They're inspiring this kind of lifestyle of take as much as you can, get what you can, screw everyone else, win at all costs. Win at all costs. No, I'm going to make a video about that too. Win at all costs. That's the mentality of our world these days. Do you want to win at all costs? The gym that I was at, out of respect, I will not say what gym it is. Great people in there, but almost everybody in there on testosterone replacement therapy, TRT, on steroids. I'm 40 years old, touch wood, never touched steroids, never touched TRT. I do everything with diet and exercise. We can boost, as men, our testosterone naturally, very effectively. I follow Paul Chek, he's a 50-plus-year-old man, looks better than Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's on all kinds of stuff. He openly talks about it. But he's got such responsibility. He's guiding and leading so many people. And I would argue people like Joe Rogan have normalized the use of steroids and testosterone, TRT. It's like widespread. Everyone's, especially unfortunately in the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu community, it's widespread. In the MMA community, it's different because, thank God, there's testing going on. But in the Jiu-Jitsu community, it is widespread, and not that I have anything against people who want to do that, but it's dangerous for me to be rolling against 46-year-olds who are shredded because they're taking some performance enhancing drugs, and I'm going to get injured because mentally it's going to affect them. They're going to be more aggressive. So winning at all costs, really? Like all these gold medals you got, how many of them were done without some sort of a performance-enhancing drug? I don't want to dive into that topic too much, but the reason I bring it up is because what kind of world do you want to live in? Like, if you're going to win at all costs, like, do you want to live in a world where it's dominated by racism? Like, if being racist is going to be the way that you're going to win at all costs, or let's say Hitler wanted to win at all costs. and all the things that they were doing to win, or Trump wanting to win at all costs. He just wants to win. He doesn't care about lying. He doesn't care about cheating. He doesn't care about stealing. Is that the world that we want to live in, where everyone's going to be lying, stealing, backstabbing? That was the world thousands of years ago that we lived in. That was the world we lived in. We want to go back to that, or are we going to continue to evolve? There's so many great people out there who are pushing human evolution forward towards peace, kindness, love. And then there's a lot of idiots out there who look at that as weakness, as being naive, as being a pushover. Oh, we're not pushovers. Kind people are not pushovers. Our limits it takes us a lot to get to our limit, but once those limits are crossed, which happens, every history repeats itself. When kind, good people are pushed and pushed and pushed and finally pushed too far, what happens? They get off the couch, they have to clean up a mess. Good people, in my opinion, I have explained it before, are just more powerful than weak people. Weak people are weak. Sorry, I shouldn't say weak people. I should say, let's say assholes, or people who are just mean-spirited. They are assholes and mean-spirited, and let's say aggressive is a better word. Aggressive people are aggressive because they are weaker, because they're afraid. It's from fear, it's from insecurity. A lot of people understand this now. They're fearful and insecure. Why? Because they are weak. They have weaknesses, and they have cleverly managed to disguise their weaknesses with aggressiveness to scare and intimidate people around them. It's kind of like a scorpion has a scary, tough, and a stinger. It's a scary, intimidating, aggressive creature, but on the inside it's soft. That's why it's so aggressive. It's afraid. Same with snakes. Snakes are afraid. They hiss and rattle to scare. So I hope that more and more people are going to wake up and realize this and not be deterred and distracted by all this that's going on around the world. Don't be distracted. Stay on the path. Don't be confused. All we're seeing around the world right now is this nature vying for, between fear and love. Love comes from strength. People who are able to love are stronger. That's why they're able to love and share love. So I pray for all of us, and I'm not religious, as you guys know, but when I pray, I'm sending out there, hopes and energy. I'm sending out my thoughts and my desire for us all to come together, to be in peace and to harmony, and to harmonize, and for us all to strengthen ourselves, and be more intelligent, or let's say just be more educated. A lot of what we're seeing comes from lack of education. That's where the fear comes from. But yeah, for those of you who may be new to this channel, who have maybe clicked on this video because you're going through a breakup, or because you've seen intense loneliness in the title and that's what related to you, well, welcome to my channel, and now you know that I ramble on about a lot of things, not just the title of the video, and I hope that you have learned something cool in here. I also have a Patreon page which I'm growing and I'm building, and again, for those of you who have been watching my videos for the past 4 years, thank you, for being so patient, because I know that it doesn't help. I record everything on my laptop here. I got a crappy laptop. I don't edit my videos. I don't have a good microphone or anything, so thank you. I know that it's a lot more pleasurable and an enjoyable experience to watch something that's well shot, that's on a better camera, that has better lighting, that has better sound. So I really appreciate that that you are patient with the lack of production on this channel. The money that I have been raising through my Patreon by all the people that have been donating and supporting, I'm saving to buy a camera, buy a better microphone to improve this experience for all of you so that you don't have to listen to a 45-minute long video of me that's not edited. Hopefully someday I'll be able to find someone out there who can help with editing, or I'll just do it myself. Other than that, I'll be posting more videos soon, and stay healthy, stay focused, don't be confused, don't be misled, okay? I know that all of you out there can feel what's right and what's wrong. Have the courage to stay on that path and to strengthen that path and to share that path. So adios for now, and I'll be in touch soon. Adios, bye.